Welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to take a quick moment to discuss HTML divs and spans. Divs stands for divisions. Later on, when we're talking about CSS and Bootstrap 4, in order to add styling to our sites, we're sometimes going to only want to apply the style to a certain section or division of the website. Divs and span tags allow us to segment portions of our HTML. That way, we can later on apply styles only to those specific portions. So right now, you're not really going to see an effect when we only perform it with HTML, but later when we actually add in a CSS class call or another style call from Bootstrap, then you'll be able to understand why we would need div and spans. So this is just a very quick moment to introduce the actual syntax of divs and spans. Later on, we'll actually see their use case. Let's get started by hopping over to the text editor. Alright, I'm back here at my basic.html file, and what I'm going to do is show you how you can build a div and also insert a span tag. So for a div or division, what we do is we type out div, and if you hit enter, it will automatically create the closing tag, and notice it also automatically creates this class call. Now we don't actually know about classes yet because we haven't discussed CSS, but later on what we're going to do is we're going to import a special string here that connects to our CSS call, and that will add styling to everything in between these two div tags. So in between these two div tags, you can add in whatever you want, such as a header, or heading, and then maybe even a paragraph, some stuff. And if you save this and refresh your page, you'll just see heading and some stuff. In fact, it will look the same as if you didn't even have a div there. So if I delete those and refresh, I won't see any changes. But keep in mind, once we actually add in this class string and connect it to a CSS file, then we will see changes only performed on things within this division. So that's a nice way of basically dividing up everything inside your body for your HTML. Because later on we'll see very large HTML files, and it'll be nice to organize them as well as apply styles by divisions. The last thing I want to note is sometimes you want to apply styling to only a certain thing inside of an already existing tag. For example, I can have a paragraph tag, and let's say there's some stuff in it. So here is some text, woohoo. Let's imagine that I wanted to apply a style call to only some text. What I could do is, instead of having to deal with this div tag, which is meant for larger divisions, I'm already within a paragraph tag. What I'm going to do is type out span and hit enter. And this span, basically, what you put is the text you want to manipulate. So we'll have some text within this span, and then later on what we can do is add a class call to this span. So in the future, we'll see something like this with some sort of string in here with my class. But for right now, since we haven't discussed CSS yet, I just want you to be aware of that when you want to edit a style to something that's already within tags, you'll be using span. Now again, if I save this and refresh, I won't see any real differences between having span in there or taking those span tags out. So if I save that and refresh, you won't notice any difference. Again, we'll only be using this once we actually learn about CSS. Okay, so that was just a brief moment to talk about these tags. That way, when you see them in the CSS lectures, they're not totally unfamiliar to you. Thanks, and we'll see you at the next one.